asked this before, and you'll see this in certain parts of the country. You'll see it in the military a lot. You'll see it in San Francisco. You'll see it in for whatever reason, motocross has a lot of this. You'll see it in fitness a lot. The handsome man, unattractive woman combination. It's almost jarring. So what's the name for this phenomenon? He's an athletic 6'3", looks like he plays Olympic volleyball while surfing and modeling part-time. The wife is a soft 3. She's 5'2", appears to guard the underside of medieval bridges for a living while shopping for oversized drab gray sweats. And this simply comes from one morning, Bunny and I were training at the gym, and this guy came in, and he's basically, he kind of like has to duck to get through the doorway, and handsome, built, muscular, and his little wife came in, and she literally looked like a troll. She had on a gray sweat top, and it had it like tied, and so it was just her face. And I was like, it was jarring. She's about 5 foot tall, and built like a pumpkin. And literally, you're like, what the hell am I looking at? So the handsome man, unattractive woman, it can go to extremes, but I don't know if there's a name for it. But we've talked about this before, and that's what I mean. You will see it sometimes. It's much more rare than the huge fat man with the striking wife. This is pretty normal, and you can rank that up to charisma. But there's a phenomenon where you'll see handsome men in certain areas with a much less attractive woman. And in the military, it tends to present itself quite often, mostly because guys come into the military from smaller towns. Their pick of who they bring with them or choose is usually smaller. So they don't have the variety, and she might be their high school sweetheart, because, even for lower enlisted, your quality of life goes up exponentially in theory, and most of the time for married guys. So, you don't have to live in the barracks. There's more money. There's all kinds of benefits and consistent sex to being married. So you do tend to see handsome, fit, sharp guys with wives 3 to 5 points below them. And it's not unusual. Like the depend upon us, is a very real thing. So in the military, usually it's you're in an environment where a 3 can be a 6, so your perception skewed. There's fewer women to choose from. And a lot of guys will bring a girl from home, especially if they're relatively new, on their first enlistment. They'll bring an ex-girlfriend or a girlfriend from home and then, marry her. They're usually smaller towns. It's just there's a smaller pool of women to pull from. So that's not unusual. There is a phenomenon, though. You'll see the handsome man and the unattractive woman. There's a picture earlier this week that we presented that was like just this. And like I said earlier, guys, if you have any questions,